Peace and blessings, y'all. This is your boy Juro. It is Friday, the 18th, 2016. How is each and everybody doing? So you're on the backside of your week, y'all, and you have navigated from the pitfalls and the distractions, and you're getting ready to go inside your weekend. I congratulate you because you're about to rest. You may have decided that this week is the week you want to decide to do things a little different because you are grounding your feet. I commend you on that because your life is priceless. But I know you guys hear that from me all the time. It's not a cliche. It's not a buzzword. We're talking about your life, y'all. And you deserve to be happy. And I really believe now more than ever, people are starting to become more aware of their surroundings, their influences, as well as starting to take note. But with that requires work now, don't it? But that requires truth. And I know that some of you, that word terrifies you because that truth may have some disappointments, that may have some misdirections, that may have some misunderstandings and has caused you to try to sidestep the obvious. But I'm a firm believer of this, y'all. In the intended time and moment, God always has a way of bringing us back to the path we were initially to be on. I know I'm talking to someone. You woke up this morning and you said, you know what? All I want to do is breathe. All I want is peace of mind. All I want is to understand me. And you're willing to make the investment. But you also know to make that investment, there must be a price paid. I commend you on that because what you're doing is you are claiming yourself back. You are placing that one foot down and you're starting to feel the foundation that was rightfully underneath you the whole time. I commend you on that. Because I'm a firm believer of this, y'all. If you spend one moment in turmoil and confusion, how about in deception? That is a moment not only that you can't get back, but is a moment that has been taken from you. I know I'm talking to someone. You're starting to see things clearly now, aren't you? You're starting to understand that what you thought was a philosophy of yours did not serve you. And there's some guilt there. Let me tell you something. The devil is a liar. He is. Because what you're starting to see that those things that you declared as angst, those things that you thought were the foundations of your assertiveness, those things that you thought was your shield to go forth were the things that, unbeknownst to you, was holding you back. I know I'm talking to someone. See, look here, y'all. Isn't it pretty obvious now that I've been echoing this now for over a year? See, you can't be a positive uh, contributor to society unless you know who you are. So to do that, it will require you to be authentic. It will require you to be vulnerable. It will require you to love yourself. I know I'm talking to someone. You thought a million years that you would not be in the position that you're in now, and you should. They told you that they had your best interest, but yet they offered you up. I know I'm talking to someone. See, I'll never condone someone's behavior because that's something that we must claim ourselves. But I also know that for every breakdown, it is the preparation of the breakthrough. And what I mean by that is, as uncomfortable as the reality that is being shown to you right now, just know this. It had to come to pass. It had to. This is your big red sign. And I'm saying that metaphorically to ask you, did you get the lesson? How many tears have to fall before you decide to love yourself? How about listen to your voice for the very first time? I know I'm talking to somebody. Now you are able to differentiate between truth and impulse. I know I'm talking to someone. You thought that if I took a position of being boastful, how about if I threw some bravado out there? How about if I turned around and showed my assertiveness? That is all that is required. Only to realize that your environment didn't even care that you breathe. I know I'm talking to someone. You're not supposed to spend one moment living in fear. You wake up every day, you're saying, this ain't right. The uneasiness becomes harder and harder to deal with. And that physician tells me, it'll be okay. Just take 2 of these and call me in the morning. But you know, that ain't what you need to do. You know that. Your dreams are becoming more lucid. Your insight is booming right now. You're starting to see answers to questions that were spoken in past, made manifested. I know I'm talking to somebody. See, that's how that devil does, y'all. He loves to use fear. That's his number one tool. You know, fear, finding everything is a reality. But because God loves you, he says, nah, I'm going to give you life, living in favor every day. I know I'm talking to someone. So now it feels like the kitchen sink is being thrown at you. All of a sudden now, the bills can't fill up. You got more financial responsibilities because all of a sudden they said, well, you know what? Because you don't do what I asked you to do, then you do it on your own. And you're barely getting by. Getting by. But guess what? Maybe now you're finally embracing yourself and you're saying, you know what, I can do this. Maybe now I can finally embrace that budget that I had in my mind and see it to the end, because now you have a goal in mind. And that goal has a smile, has a reassurance, because you see yourself there. I know I'm talking to someone. "2016 is the year where real recognizes real." Having the ability to make it by way of faking it don't hold no weight, because you're starting to see that the people that are in your circle are just like you. We are what we attract. That's why you always hear birds of a feather. That's right, flock together. But you never hear them say in what direction. You never hear them say from what. You never hear them say that. But all of these things have relevance, because we're talking your direction. So guess what? You gonna have that conversation with you now? Or are you gonna constantly allow your environment to define your life? I know I'm talking to someone. Let me explain something to you. You're not going crazy. No, you're not. You are not going crazy. What is required is that you go within. That's right. I know I'm talking to someone. God's been sitting there the whole time, and he's saying, Father, they know not what they do. You know why he said that? Because if you realize how valuable your life was, half the things that you've chosen to do by impulse or by influence, you wouldn't be nowhere near that. You wouldn't. You'd be like, Charlie, I ain't got time for that, man. I got love for you, but I love myself more. But see, it requires us to be truthful with ourselves, y'all. It requires us to do that. So the question is, why won't you? Why won't you do it? Do you realize that the person that you're destined to be is relying that you make the sound decisions you make today? That is going to be your outcome. That is going to be the pathway. Because you can't get back the person you were yesterday. Nope, sure can't. But what you can get from yesterday is the insight. The only way you can get that is you got to be courageous to go within yourself. Do you realize 50% of the people that walk on this planet have made a conscious decision not to live their lives? You ever thought about that? 50%, y'all. They've already physically or emotionally checked out. And the question is why? What is going on, or what has happened to you that you said your life is not worth living? Who convinced you of that? What situation occurred in your life that said, you know what? Nah, I don't want to grow. Don't you realize that is nothing but the Jezebel spirit being manifested by way of the devil? Yes, the Jezebel spirit is real, y'all. Jezebel spirit uses manipulation, deception, corruption, and downright evil as a tool to do the devil's work. They do that spirit, excuse me, does not ever embrace love. Why? Because love is the physical and spiritual example of God's grace on our lives. I mean, think about it. Think about all the things you did that you know if it ever got out, you would be feeling kind of a certain way. But guess what? You wake up every day to a new day. You wake up every day to take in that precious air. Your heart continues to beat. Your mind continues to function, even though you may feel a little cloudy, a little unsure of yourself. So you say to yourself, well, you know what? I'm going to be good as long as I align myself with fill in the blank. But you know in your heart of hearts, they don't have your best interest or share your sentiments. You know why they're in your life? They're there to show you the example of who you're going to become through their influence if you do not love yourself. I know I'm talking to someone. Every time you talk to her, she got nothing good to say about men. Every time you break bread with her, she always got problems about men and what has happened to her and what she didn't get out of it. You know why? Because not one time did she take accountability for her placement being there. You don't never hear her say, well, you know, if I had only done this, if I had only chose to do that. No, I. Because when you use the word I, you are taking possession and representing self. So if you don't know who you are, how are you going to know where you're going? I know I'm talking to someone. But when it comes to getting turned up, oh, she'll show you how to do that. She'll show you how to get turned out too. But that's your friend, right? See, that word friend is a sacred word because it should mean unconditional love. And if you're aligning yourself with someone that you know don't have your best interest, my question to you is this. Why are you there? Why are you there? If you know the outcome is a dead end, why are you walking that path? Your life was not made to be the martyr. Your life was not meant to be the victim either. Your life was meant to be defined. I know I'm talking to someone. You are terrified because you have convinced yourself that you are unlovable. I know I'm talking to somebody. You said, Gerald, this is the best I'm going to get. I'm about to do it on my own, and that's going to be my plight the rest of my days. Who told you that? Who told you that? I think if I'm correct, I told each and every one of y'all this. Prepare. Stop looking for your mate. Have that conversation with yourself and build that foundation with God. Did I not? All those things that I just conveyed were positives. Because until you do that, guess what? You won't realize how beautiful you really are. You're riding around him. You're spending time with him. You're giving yourself to him. He barely give you the time of day. he spends more time trying to change you than embrace who you really are. That's not who you're supposed to be with. She's supposed to be walking with you, but every time you spend time with her, she tears you down. She can't find no good in you. She emasculates you. Why are you there? Why are you there? Can you explain to that? Because see, that's what that Jezebel spirit does. She helps foster what we know as soul ties. You've actually convinced yourself, you said, well, you know, Gerald, I need a little structure in my life. So, you know, I guess my role, notice I said role, is to play step and fetch it. So pretty much whatever he says goes. Okay. Okay. Is it because maybe you saw that was a behavior that was reared in your development as a child? Or maybe that was an influence by someone that you thought was mentoring you, but really they were setting you up for the clip. I know I'm talking to someone. So I know that some of y'all have had a rough go of it these last 2.5 months. You're saying, Gerald, you know, 2016 has been terrible for me because I keep catching it. I keep going through things. And I'm just one disappointment from a breakdown. Well, let me explain something to you. Say this with all sincerity and love. Maybe what you're being prepared for is to finally fall. That's right. You said, well, why would you wish me to fall down? I'm not. Maybe this is a preparation for you to fall back in love with yourself. Because see, the people that don't have your best interest are not going to follow you. They can't. What's going on is you're going to be spiritually protected. So there is a division being placed. Maybe that's the reason why you can't get them on the phone no matter how hard you try. Maybe that's the reason when you are in their midst, all you do is argue and fuss and fight. Why? Because that person is not afforded the right to walk with you. I'm a firm believer that people come into your lesson, come into your life for two reasons. Either A, they are your blessing, or B, they are your lesson. But you have to be truthful with yourself to see it. You run to your stick man for advice, and they tell you, you just need to move on. Instead of being truthful and saying, well, look here, this is what I see. This is what I would advise you doing, and giving you the option. See, far too many times people use the cliche, move on. Or I like this one, to get over someone, you got to get under someone else. But what if that person don't know themselves? What if that person ain't walking with God? What if that person has been attracted into your life only to wreck your life more? You ever thought about that? Because we are what we attract. But see, I also know that we live in a society that we have a love affair with denial. It's too hard to take accountability for our steps because that means we have to take a position of truth. And the only way we can take a position of truth is we have to allow ourselves to be vulnerable with ourselves. That's right. You know that person that's in the mirror looking at you every day? When you wash that beautiful face and brush those pearly whites and take the crust out of your eyes. The person that has your thoughts your emotions. Maybe what's going on right now, there's some spiritual division going on, and God is saying, no, 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 no. I'm going to show you something better. I know I'm talking to someone, but you caught up on what's going on outside your door instead of what's going on in your heart. Be right back, 10 seconds. Thank you for your patience. So now we're living in a society, y'all, that the stakes are higher. Now, what was hidden is being put right in your face. They say, well, you know what? Anything I can do to distract you from you, I'm going to put it out there to see what you do with it. So guess what? Communities are at odds. Cultures are misunderstood. And narcissism is live and well. Come on now. Think about it. I told y'all I conveyed this 6 months ago. The greatest asset to society is your mind. Did I not? Because see, society knows if I can tap into that mind, that is like a instantaneous ATM. Because they know you're going to spend some money. Yes, they do. So they're going to tap into your insecurities. They're going to tap into your vulnerabilities to make you feel a certain way so you can go marching down to the stuff. Let me tell you something. You're not going to find peace of mind at the bottom of that plate. You're not going to find peace of mind with a wardrobe full of clothes. You're not going to find peace of mind living in that lavish house or that having that lavish ride. Those are all nice things to have. Don't get me wrong. But you also can't ignore how you obtain them. Where's your respect in that? Or where does the price tag end? I know I'm talking to someone. All you ever wanted was to feel accepted. All you ever wanted was to have that vision in your mind validate your steps. That's all you ever wanted. And it seems as you get older and older, the further and further that dream seems to get ahead of you. Let me tell you something. Anything that is ordained by God will come to pass. That's a check you can write. That's why you hear this. He may not come when you want, but he's always there all the time. I know I'm talking to someone. That is your validation that God is working in your life. Because I know that's somebody, that's your thing right there. That's, yeah. I know I'm talking to someone. So you're starting to stand up now. You're starting to speak your truth. You're starting to go within yourself, and now you're starting to breathe. Some of y'all may look at it as prolifically, finally exhaling. Because you're going into that emotional backpack of yours that has your burdens, that was connected to you. Those were your shackles. And to some, these were the things that were extorting you from yourself. But just know this. Those are all illusions. Those are all things that you can triumphantly, you can conquer those things. That's why I'm a firm believer. You are the exception to the rule. It's not your fate, as they say, fate. Let me correct it. It's not your legacy to live your life like your family. You said nobody's married in my family, but we got a whole lot of kids. I know I'm talking to someone. And it's gotten you shook. You say, I want love, Drew. I want love so bad. But it seems like there's a dark cloud over my family name. And everybody gets divorced. Nope. That was a liar. That's why I say to each and every one of you, prepare. The only way you're going to be able to do that is you got to tell yourself you love yourself. Start forgiving yourself for the choices and actions that you've done. Go wholeheartedly and have a conversation with God. I don't care if you're in your car. Speak your truth to Him. Ask Him to guide your life. And I guarantee you, what you thought was a reality will change. It will change. But it will not change until you decide to fight for you. God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your work. And for that, it helps me discern mine. Do you not think it's coincidental that every time you're in a dilemma, the people that have access to you don't have time for you, but they enjoy watching you suffer? That's not coincidental, y'all. These people do not deserve to hear you breathe. So let's do something different. Let's stand up. Let's go within their heart and take the road less traveled. And that road is back to you. Be blessed.